the origin of the project that we're talking about now is the Divas Sung by Karen Meeks. But the origin is so interesting because when I was very young, I used to just love jazz and I loved rock and roll. I mean, one of my favorite songs was the Bohemian Rhapsody and what is it? Aerosmith boy? What? Steve Tyler saying "Dream On, Dream On." Yeah, and I liked stuff like that, and I liked all Joe Tex and all that stuff that mommy and them used to listen to, and then we used to listen to what oh my god, just a myriad
We
of
had
music.
eclectic upbringing on music. We really did.
Oh yeah, and
Classical to
then
country.
like Daddy used to listen to like Blue Bayou, Linda Ronstadt,
Mm-hmm.
and all them, and
Mm-hmm.
George Jones and all those folks, and so and then
Exactly.
yeah, so Yvette would hang out with her friend Pierre, and he was like hipping her to Bessie Smith, all the old stuff from back in the day, and I was like, yeah, yeah, it's all right. And so by the time I was like 15, I didn't have an aversion to blues, but I was just kind of like,
So
okay,
I thought you
it
lying.
it's
She
okay.
had an aversion to
I
blues,
thought
but I
no,
suggested.
it wasn't a version. What it was is I really thought it was simplistic, and I was like this
Really?
little snob that I wrote all of this stuff that because I wrote a lot of jazz tunes, so I was writing all this stuff with all these counter melodies and all this and that, all its layers, and I'm going. I said, yeah, they sound good. Those women can really sing, but isn't that simple? And that's literally how I thought. And then my sister like backed me up one day and she just kind of blessed me out about the blues. And what did you say to me? She got me. What did you say?
What the hell is wrong with you? You don't want to sing the blues? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it went something like
What I
that.
said.
But that's not
Only
really
it
the
was,
words I was
it
waiting for you
was
to
like a
say.
lot
But
of it was a lot of F and a lot of MF and have you lost your F in mind? Blah 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 blah. Then I gave her a history of the blues, okay,
yeah, she
original
did.
American music, and I
Yeah,
said that's the foundation for the music that we listen to. And she
absolutely.
kind of moved me a little more, and then lo and behold, grace settled on her soul because she started singing the blues.
Well,
Yay!
and it's so interesting because um I, Marina came to me one day and um she said to me, she said, very good friend of ours, said to
Hmm.
me, she said, Karen, a person at work needs a lead for a band, and you're not really singing in a band right now. So, do you want to be the lead singer for the band? And I said, oh, sure, I'd love to do that. I said, what kind of music do they do? And she said, it's the blues.
Old the soul.
I really should get Marina in this, but that's all right. We'll talk to her one other day. But
Uh-huh.
she didn't even know what she was doing because Yvette had gotten me years ago about the blues, right? And then so here comes
And
Marina,
I
and I
just
said,
hinted a little bit, a
yeah,
little hint every once in a while.
yeah,
Hopefully she listens to me. She's not listening.
yeah. And Yvette has been telling me over and over, you need to sing the blues. You don't understand. You don't understand your heritage if you don't. I'm like yada yada. So 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 Marina, I said, well, what do I have to do? I said, I don't know nothing about singing no blues.
Just, just the
and,
fact that she said, I don't know nothing about singing no blues. That's a blues song right there. I don't know nothing about singing
singing
no
no
blues.
blues.
Uh,
And Marina said, oh, girl, you can sing anything. Go on and sing the daggone song. Only she cursed too. She said,
yeah.
sing the, she said, sing the
MF is
daggone blues.
song, so you can make
And
that MONEY. Yeah.
what? Say that again?
The MF is song, so you can
Yeah,
make that
no, she was. I don't know. She didn't say that,
MONEY.
but she just said sing the day, the D, yeah, sing the song. And I said, well, Marina, I'll try, but they might think that I'm not good enough. And she's, yeah, that's what I said. And she kind of laughed like that. It was kind of like that. She was like, girl, go on over to people's houses sing. And I said, okay. So y'all gonna laugh at this. I know out in podcast world, y'all gonna laugh. Now, the blues band was all white.
Because let me tell you something about the blues bands, okay? The
uh,
blues bands, and I've noticed it, and they're the cats that know how to read music and do blues, they break it down and put a rap in it. In other words, they break it down to the fourth, fifth, or the major, whatever,
mhm.
major lift.
Whatever.
Yeah, and they do all of that.
Uh-huh.
Whereas a lot of musicians who don't read music and just naturally know
They
how to
just play.
play,
Yeah,
they
they
just
feel
play
it.
it,
They
and
feel it.
they feel it. But what
Yeah.
has happened in America at that time was there,
Hmm.
I hardly saw any black people playing blues
No.
unless we were down south.
Yeah.
I mean, way
Well,
down south,
these
Memphis,
cats were down
New
south, but
River. Yeah. No,
these
I mean
cats were down south.
down south. I'm talking about Mississippi, Karen. Not
Oh,
Mississippi,
okay. Okay.
Louisiana. Louisiana. That's
Okay.
where I saw,
Yep.
like, down the stroll. Yeah, that's where I saw a lot of black people playing blues.
Still
And up
playing
here in New
blues.
York, too, if you were in the village.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it wasn't
True.
like so, it wasn't just, I was upset because I
Hmm.
said, here we are, we have we've invented the basis of a lot of music that comes
Right.
out of America and around the world, and here we are
Letting it
losing
go.
our heritage.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the us? But
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to the Caucasian people that sing
Uh,
because
yeah.
goodness gracious
It's true.
almighty.
It's true.
Because
Okay.
everybody started singing rap.
So in saying that, that's a good segue into, okay, so I go over this guy's name. Now get the name. Very nice guy, could play the heck out of some blues. John Hovelsrud. Now doesn't that just,
What?
yeah, that's the John, my guitar player's name, the first where I went and learned about the blues from was named John Hovelsrud, which is Nordic descent, I think. Norway.
Yeah, but he
Somewhere
sounds
over
like
there. Yeah. So
he
anyway,
sounds
look,
like from Water
yeah.
Rose or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's an engineer, really brilliant man, but loves the blues. So I walk in his house. His wife is just wonderful. I walk in his house, all these black guys on the wall. I'm like, wait, what's up? So black guys in overalls, looking like they really just came out of the fields, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so I walked in, and I think I was in a state of grace because I was like, wow, this is really it. So I went into the studio area, where we practiced, rehearsed, and everything. And then I meet all these other white guys, and they're like, "Well, what do you know?" And I'm like, "Honey, you just tell me what to sing. How about that? Because I don't know what to sing. Because
That's
I didn't."
embarrassing. Okay, she black girl don't know what to
And,
sing
and
and she in
I
this
was,
house.
and that's what was really interesting is I'm the black girl, only black girl in the house. I look like the guys on the wall, but I don't know what they're talking about. So So they made me go home and do some homework. I sang and they liked the way I sang. So they're like, okay, so you'll do. Come on, learn these songs. So they gave me a list of songs to learn. And I was like, oh God, this stuff is so repetitive and blah 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 blah. And so yeah, and I go home and I start learning the material because I went in on it because I didn't know this material. I could sing everything from Broadway to down,
Classical.
yeah, to classical, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't know
Country.
this girl. They gave me who
Who's
was
the
it?
thinker? I don't know.
But it was a Buddy Guy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, Taj Mahal. All these people, BB King. And they were giving me all these cats that could just go. And so I'm listening to this music, losing my mind because once I first started singing it, I realized that those spaces in the blues where there's nothing,
Mm-hmm.
what can someone with an instrument like a voice do? Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, it
So
was fabulous. It was
yeah,
like she called me and said she was singing in the blues band. I almost threw up my Wheaties. I don't know what's going
yeah,
on.
yeah. So it became this really challenging thing that was like I lost my mind. I loved it, and I really had to laugh. And I said, "Wait till I tell my sister that I'm in love with the blues,
Yeah,
literally."
I was in
And
shock. I
yeah,
had to get a drink.
but I had to like it happened. Like once I learned the material, then I was kind of afraid to do a show with all that material, and then we did a show with all that material, and the people were
Mm-hmm.
like very receptive, guys standing on top of chairs and all this craziness, and I'm like, what the heck is this? And then, like I
Yep.
said, those spaces that you could give people love, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
spaces, so you could
Yep.
talk and you could give people
Mm-hmm.
love, and you could let them hear the love
Mm-hmm.
in your voice. And it
Mm-hmm.
was amazing, and I've never connected with an audience like that, on that level. I had never
Well,
connected with audience.
well, you know what? I think it is because
Mhm.
they are your roots. Because
Yeah,
mommy sang and daddy sang. Mommy played the
absolutely,
piano. So
absolutely.
you and daddy played that other string thing. I don't even know what that was.
Hmm.
So it was like you were connecting with your roots
Yeah,
and the generations of people who came before us.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you finally figured it out.
I finally got it. I finally got it.
Mhm.
And then Vet, I went to this concert down in well, we performed at this concert down in Columbia, South Carolina. I'll never forget it. And it was like it was my best blues lesson ever. So we're
Mhm.
downstairs. We're one of the bands performing in this huge library, and it was gorgeous. And so
Oh, let me come back. I really,
yeah, and so we were
uh-huh.
downstairs, and there was this old black cat upstairs singing the blues, right? So on our
Mm.
break, I'm walking around, right? I go upstairs. Dude had the audience eating out of his hand. Dude rolled around on the floor. He was on the floor. And I don't mean floor, I mean floor.
Yeah, I know. You're in
And
South Carolina. Guys are slow.
he was on the floor. And Vet, everybody was
Hmm.
screaming and hollering along with me. Hello. He was old as God himself. The man was old. But still, when he was performing, he was so young. And he got down
Yeah.
on that floor, he rolled around and he got back up. You know,
Mm.
yeah.
That's
And I,
actually do that now.
yeah. And so, as old as he was, and I was so honored, and I was like, it was like I was looking at like Michael Jackson himself perform,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
never
well,
forget that.
he was like the Michael Jackson of the blues. Well,
Yeah,
actually, Michael Jackson was
yeah,
the
yeah,
blues from him.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
that's just like him.
Yeah, so it was so amazing, and I got so much from that, and I said I'm gonna strive to be a performer like that, and it was between him, I'd say, and Bette Midler.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because man, Bette Midler will walk out on some chairs in a minute through an audience. You better look at her. Look, have you seen her? Don't play her and that other little girl. Time after time. What her name is?
Um,
Lying in my bed. What's that chick's name? Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, her.
Cindy Lauper?
Cindy Lauper. Yep. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Very,
Yeah.
very good. And then, oh my
Mhm.
goodness. And so I was just so it was like a hodgepodge of all this music that was going on in my head. So then I started writing from that too. So oh God. So it's just been an amazing journey.
Yeah,
But I'm
right.
so thankful that I've got I've gotten like what is the word, Yvette? An
Epiphany.
educate. It's an education. I'm so glad that I got educated on who I am and where I came
Well,
from.
she had the epiphany when she
Yeah,
came out
and
with
it
the blues.
absolutely,
That was
absolutely,
an epiphany because the other
yeah,
hand was like, "Is she an epiphany?" I was like, really? Are you
yeah,
serious?
yeah. It was bad.
Serious?
It was bad. It was bad. But
But it's okay now because you're going to be doing your
so
show.
yeah, so the show that we're talking about that I'm doing is actually going to chronicle the lives of
Great
Ma Rainey.
blues singers.
We're going
And
from
we're not going to even say who we're going from.
well,
Just
we're going
understand. Go ahead.
Ma Rainey. What are you talking about? We're going from Ma
Oh, we
Rainey.
all, okay.
Yeah, we're going from Ma Rainey on up the women that I think really set the ground floor for music uh, and
Etta
modern
James.
modern American music. And so from Ma Rainey to Bessie Smith, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, who's the other one? Etta James. And so the show that we're doing uh, pays homage to those divas, and
Mm-hmm.
they are really
But
divas and they're wonderful in their own way. And in this show, we want to show the bright side of what they did and the positive aspects that they um, left. Well,
mhm.
not even aspects, the positive
The
mark that they left.
positive impact they had on
There
society
you
with
go.
their
See,
music. And
that's
I'm
why
going
I
to tell
have
you,
her. Hmm.
but I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
tell you something. Because
Well,
Karen really, really formulated this for me. I never really thought about it, but yeah, every time you hear about the great women blues singers, okay, with some jazz in there too,
in jazz, yeah.
you always hear about the tragedy of their lives. So now Karen's going to celebrate the triumph of their lives. You're going to learn so much. about the history of these women just during her show. And we wrote this show about, what was it, before the pandemic, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, we were in a hotel room. I said, let's go lock ourselves in here and
Yeah,
we're
we
going to write
spec'd
this.
it out. Yeah, we did. We
Yeah, we
spec'd it out.
spec'd it
Yeah.
out. We wrote it, and now we got to just put it all the way down and, get it to where it's going to be magnificent. I
Yeah.
think. No, I know.
No, girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Let me tell you, my sister Karen Meeks, all right?
mm.
I will tell you, Marina and I, we were singing at a casino, okay? And it was in Stroudsburg. I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, we were singing somewhere in Stroudsburg area in
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania. Marina and I were on the other side of the stage, and we're the backup singers. And, I mean, I had to lead her up to the stage because she can't see that well. And then I have to follow her rhythm because I have none. And then I really have the only black girl in America with no rhythm at all. I mean, I have to
Girl,
buy rhythm. I have to buy rhythm.
don't feel
So
bad. I know two more people just like you. Go ahead.
and it's so sad. And
Mm-hmm.
so we were in the middle of, I don't know what song we were doing, but
Mm-hmm.
we didn't. Marina and I didn't have to have any backup coming right up, so we stood there, and I just looked at Karen, and she was out in the middle of the stage, but we on the side waiting about bag and things, so they just put over there. We didn't let us not right. So anyway, um, Karen was singing so well and just exciting, and I mean, it was magnificent, and it was so cool because I forgot she was my sister.
Oh,
Okay,
stop.
that's Karen. Come on, girl. Now me and Maria told you that because Maria said, look at her. I said, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she thinks she's cute out there trying to sing, and she was. We were talking trash, but
Yeah.
I was mesmerized. Okay,
Yeah.
this is my sister. She was doing this music, and it's that.
Well,
You have a few albums that you released, haven't
oh yeah, we have Seven Simple Songs Part One, Two, and Three, and those are all songs that uh are just songs I've written over the years, and most of them have an element of love in them, and forgiveness, and elevating the spirit, and just being who you are, and paying homage to our family, because that's an ongoing
you?
thing. I don't think that song is ever
Yeah,
going to end. I have so many songs about my family; it's insane, but but, but
yeah.
it's like,
Good. So we should have
well,
a great time with this. And go ahead.
there's, like I said, the show is a show about these women's lives, the positive um, um, mark that they left in America, on American music, and the fact that they were icons, and the fact that I'm just sick of hearing the negative stuff. We all know that's
Yeah,
part of what made them who they were, and all of
yes.
that, and that's okay. But I would like to just kind of turn the light up on the stories a little bit about how their business acumen, and how they really really got what they needed to get to become
Who they,
history,
who they
part of
were.
history.
Yeah,
Hello,
they're
they're
absolutely
icons.
part of history.
Yeah,
Now there was tragedy in their lives.
absolutely,
And God
absolutely.
knows these are women who are back in like the the early 20th century.
Right.
Okay, women barely could talk without their husbands saying okay.
No,
All right,
no, no.
and these women were going around and doing what they wanted to do.
Yeah, what
And
they
I
needed to
found
do.
that
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
fascinating.
And a lot of them, when we were doing the research, the historical research on the project, if you think
Mhm.
about it, a lot of them had overlapping themes. Overwhelming poverty. It's like not long out of slavery.
Yeah.
After slavery, and then the fact that they were just so poor, and they were just
Mhm.
so
They were
and
destitute.
they had to deal with so much, the misogynistic views, just the way society wasn't
Bullshit.
genuine, the fact that people really thought that they should just get nothing, because they were
Mhm.
women, and they were black, and they were not long from being property. So it was just, they had to.
Yep.
Oh, and you have to think, what kind of a spirit can
Mhm.
move beyond all of those trappings
Mhm.
to
And
become
tragedies. Yeah.
historical
Icons.
figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
Absolutely.
what kind of
Who
spirit
does
does
that,
that?
right? Yeah.
And so
Great.
yeah, right? It's grace. And so I think that society needs to remember, and
Mhm.
if they don't remember, they need to learn about
Mhm. The
the this
music and from where it came.
yeah, the music and from where it came, and how no matter what has happened to you cannot
Mhm.
be used as an excuse not to do and fulfill what God has for you, or whoever you believe
Yeah.
in, what the universe has for
Higher
you,
power,
whatever,
universe, it don't matter.
whatever, whoever and
Whatever you
whatever.
believe in, you
Yeah.
follow your heart and
Hmm.
you do it in love, and life will be great.
Yep,
Now,
absolutely.
I think what we should do, you think we should just wrap up this podcast and just continue it on a second one? We've
Well,
got
yeah,
so much to talk about.
I think that would be great. But so this is just an introduction into what it is. And so what we're doing is we're working this show, The Divas, sung by Karen Meeks, from we're working it up from a concert into a full-fledged Broadway production. So right now we are
And
at this.
yeah,
Excuse me.
we're on the cusp. I'm
Yeah.
going to say, because, when you say Broadway to people, they like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, y'all don't know us.
No, it's okay.
Y'all don't know us.
But but
We
it's all
were
right.
taught,
Yeah.
we were taught to, if you're going to do it. And we had a few
Honey,
setbacks. But you know what? It's to keep on keeping on.
that's right. Because
Okay? And,
we're gonna be who we be, so we can leave our mark.
mhm, and our legacy for our children and their children.
Yeah, and it's a legacy of love.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
it's a legacy of
absolutely.
love,
So
because this
so
world needs love.
yeah, so the road to Broadway is I would love for you guys to come back and tune in, and the next time we meet I'm going to bring in Rick Finlay, who is my partner in crime and the one that helping me get financing and funding and funding sources, and he's the musical director for the band, and our band is the Blue River Soul. And so I'll let you guys meet
Featuring
some of those
Karen
cats,
Meeks.
and you're going to meet some of those
Blue
cats.
Soul featured Karen Meeks.
Yes, absolutely. And so they'll be here next time, and we'll talk about the project and how it's impacted us as a band as a whole, because these guys are on this
Uh-huh.
journey with me. And I'm so honored and so very, very blessed that I have a
Uh-huh.
wonderful, wonderful team of people to work with. And we are now
Absolutely.
we're going now for our second funding source. Thank you to the SEEP grant that we received of $2,000, which allowed us to do a filming at the campus theater in beautiful Lewisburg, PA, and we have all of this wonderful footage that we need to edit now, and and
And I had a, right. I'm sorry, I don't got my feet.
to help to procure funds and to get us to our next step. And we're going to start with the choreography and hiring of dancers, and we have a concert coming up August 12th, and all this great stuff is happening. And we're just looking so forward to growing this project into what it needs to be. And we're headed to Broadway, y'all, because hey, God before you, ain't nobody again you.
There you go. There you go. And I would say this too. I had a
Yes,
few grant too to work
yes.
on a blues man who ended up being a gospel songwriter. Okay,
Who
and
actually played piano for Bessie Smith
yeah,
and Ma
Maureen.
Rainey. So what is
Yeah,
that cat's name? What is his
his
name?
name is Thomas A. Dorsey.
Thomas A. Dorsey.
Okay,
There you
and
go.
he became a patriot of the art of gospel, because he's one of the founding members of gospel music. I'm
Hmm.
talking about the Southern gospel.
Hmm.
And my seat is to work on that. And I'm working on that too. So hey, if you're gonna have a full plate, then they're gonna get full.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. All right, guys. We're gonna see you next time. Or yeah, you
Okay.
will see us next time because child, I'm gonna try to comb my hair for the next podcast. I don't know
Yeah, I
about
got
you.
a scarf on. It's a big old mess of
But
hair.
we're looking so forward to the next time we meet. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah, and this is Karen Meeks and Thomasina Yvette Meeks saying thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast, and blessings to you and your family.
Awesome thoughts, baby.